Monday on the Fan. This is the Tiki and Tierney Show. Oh, my God, the Yankees are absolutely gross. We'll get to them later. Rangers, Devils later. Big one tonight, obviously, the biggest in terms of Game 7s. And the Knicks let one get away from them yesterday. Yesterday really bothered me. I think it's one of the few times this year that I'm truly, disappointed in the Knicks for a multitude of reasons, but we'll get to it all. How you doing, buddy? All right?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. I watched this game, BT, and in first quarter, you're thinking this thing is going to be a runaway. They're going to score 120 points, and the Heat are just going to be shell shocked by the Knicks, who were playing without Julius Randle in this game. And as it went on, I kept saying to myself, they need Julius Randle. Second quarter gets down to 5 points. They go into halftime. They need Julius Randle. They need Julius Randle. They shot terribly from three-point range. I mean, when your best three-point shooter is Obi Toppin, I love the kid because he's starting to ball a little bit as of late. But when he's 4 of 11 and everybody else is 3 of whatever the hell else they shot, you know that this team is struggling. I don't think, BT, this team can get past the Miami Heat without Julius Randle. And it's such a departure from where I thought I would see myself looking at Julius Randle. He's been up and down, as we know, this couple of seasons, more up, obviously, over the last 3. But I never thought that he was that it. I thought it was Jalen Brunson, to be honest with you. But as I watched that game, there was something missing. There's an it. There's a attitude. There's an aggressiveness that is necessary for this Knicks team to feel like the Knicks. And without Julius Randle, they don't have it. They will not win this series if Julius Randle doesn't get healthy, and I mean healthy quick. It's like Tuesday, he needs to be playing. It's must win for the
I don't
Knicks.
care if he's 80%. You rolled him out there, and he was apparently I was surprised he didn't play.
Me too.
You know, based on the video that we saw Friday, he was getting jump shots up. He looked pretty spry. And then, you know, it seemed like it was trending in the right direction there, favorably for the Knicks and favorably for Julius Randle. And so I was in the car, had to go get some sandwiches, a little roast beef and mozzarella, a little roasted red pepper. First of all, I had to get out of the house. Oh, my God. Talk about being trapped in the house all weekend? Yeah, I mean, you were down in Florida. Are you still in Florida?
I am.
That's what I thought. Okay. It sucked here. There's nowhere to go, nowhere to turn.
And the only thing you were waiting for was a victory on Sunday night or Sunday afternoon for the Knicks.
Yeah. And so, of course, church ran. I felt like I was in church for 3 hours. That's like the only time we actually left the house for the most part on Sunday. But then I'm like, all right, you know, we get back to the house. It's like 12:20, 12:30. I'm like, Daddy's going to run and get some sandwiches. I even got some grilled shrimp. I got some cucumber salad so I could dip the remnants of my sandwich in there with I was ready to go. A little ginger ale, some potato chips, and I sat down, and you're right, Knicks look good. And then they got bullied, and they got pushed, and they got punked, and they got roughed up. And you know what really bothered me about the Knicks? Stop whining. Like, that's what everybody was complaining. And you look at this up and down, there was too much whining. There was not enough efficiency. There weren't enough adjustments. We'll get to that. Spoelstra absolutely owned Tibbs in half number 2. And they didn't finish quarter strong. They just didn't. I feel like especially that second quarter, the Knicks very easily could have been up, instead of 5, they could have been up 12, 13, 14, 15. The amount of open looks that they missed, which is why I'm not incredibly worried, because I do think they'll stick a lot of them coming up in game 2. But you look at some of the advanced data from this game, what they term open threes, they were 2 for 15. What they term wide open threes, they were 4 for 16. Now, let me say one thing about Toppin. He is absolutely growing. He is flourishing. He is expanding his game. And he's really the only Knick who got a little loose from downtown. I don't want to see Obi Toppin taking 11 threes. That's just not good for the Knicks.
No, it's not at all.
It's not. But Spoelstra's saying, go ahead, let him go. Shoot.
Yeah, but if he's not taking those threes and at least making a decent percent, it wasn't actually that good of a percentage, but if he's not making them, they really get blown out of the water in this game, right? He almost had to. But I think that's also that's what typified this team without Julius Randle. It feels like everybody decided to play hero ball in really the fourth quarter, not really the third, but in the fourth quarter, everybody decided to play hero ball. All of the ball movement and helping each other and figuring out ways to get the best shot, it was out the window. It was all ISO, and that allowed Kyle Lowry Kyle Lowry,
I
BT.
know, I
Kyle
know.
who? Kyle.
Well, I don't think
Kyle
doing it
Lowry,
today. I
right?
hear you.
Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, that
had
Kyle Lowry.
He blocked 4 shots.
He's tough as nails. Well, he kept
I
getting
know
in
he
Barrett's
is.
grill, kept stealing the ball
But
from
I'm
Barrett.
saying, but why? Why? Why was he be able to do that? Because R.J. Barrett thought that he could take him. And
well, he should be able to take him. But he's 35 years old, Kyle Lowry, and he's got RJ's got 4 or 5 inches on him.
Yeah, but when you have playoff, this is the first time, except for Brunson, right? Brunson's the only Knick that's gotten to the second round.
Second round. Yes.
I think it's still a second round. And this Miami Heat team, whatever you want to think about them, right? They were terrible in the regular season, and they barely made it to the postseason, right? But they've been to the finals. And what was it, 2 years ago? They were a couple games away from winning.
Yes,
the
they
final.
were.
That
Yes, they were.
experience matters because they're able to push through the adversity that's inevitable in any sport, but particularly in the NBA. You're going to hit some level of adversity, and you got to have the experience to push through it. The Knicks simply didn't in game 1. And I think a big part of that was because they didn't have their X factor in Julius Randle.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically 25 and 10 every game. 877-337-6666. Tiki and Tierney on the Fan. As always, T, we're inside of our Town Fair Tire studio. Our friends at Town Fair remind you that you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. So let's say you bump into a Knicks fan this morning who just, for whatever reason, was so occupied, had such an ironclad prior commitment that they weren't able to watch a second of the game, nor do they have a phone or a TV or the ability to communicate with anybody on the planet, and they don't know what happened yesterday, right? And you bump into it, hey, how'd we do yesterday? Well, we lost a tough one. Oh, what happened? Did Randall play? Nah, Randall didn't play. Did Jimmy Butler drop 50 again? Nah, that didn't happen. Did we have some devastating injury? No, not really. Well, then how the hell did we get beat? Well, because we got punked on 3 straight outlet passes that went 65 feet in the air.
By the way, BT, I blame you.
What?
I blame you. I blame you for that.
Why?
Because on Friday, you were saying this team is not going to get beat by Kevin Love. You brought him up for no reason at all.
All right, buddy.
Kevin Love gets like 12 minutes a game.
Listen, dude.
And you bring it up. He knows his outlet. He's like Aaron Rodgers out there.
Yeah. Would you do me a favor?
Passes.
Let the detractors of the show keep the receipts. I don't need you to bust them out.
BT, when as soon as I saw that, I saw it 3 times.
I know. It was embarrassing.
The first thing I thought about was you. I swear to God, the first thing I thought about was you. Like BT mushed us with Kevin Love of all people.
Well, I mean, listen, I still feel really good about this series. I never thought this was going to be Knicks, and certainly not Knicks in a sweep, not Knicks in 5. I was always in the neighborhood Knicks in 6 or Knicks in 7, and I'm certainly going to stick with that. But let me push back a little bit here. Now, I largely agree with you on your position with Randall. No Randall, no advancement. Got it. But let's just say, because once the adrenaline wears off, we don't know how Jimmy Butler's ankle's feeling.
Great point. They said it looked like a baseball.
Yeah, so let's say that Butler is truly compromised, whether he plays a little ineffectively or doesn't play a game, but then comes back, he's a little, hot and cold. You still don't think the Knicks could win without Randall if Butler's not right or not on the court?
It's a good question.
Because I do.
Well, the reason I doubt it. Not doubt it, because doubt it sounds like I'm saying they're going to lose. But the reason I have some doubt is because Eric Spoelstra is such a good coach, and we saw it in the 3rd and 4th quarters where he started packing the paint, and the Knicks were dared to shoot. And they had open. You gave the stat, BT. The 3-point looks, the wide open 3-point.
4 for 16 on those.
They
wide
said,
open.
Spoelstra said, "Go shoot him."
That's right.
Good luck.
Yeah.
And they didn't. It reminded me of Tony Bennett from UVA, that pack line defense where they dare you to shoot. And if teams can shoot, like we saw in that epic upset a couple years ago, Baltimore, Maryland County, right? OMBC,
of course, UMBC.
Right? UMBC.
Yeah.
Right? If you can shoot and make them, you're going to beat the better team. And that's what it felt like. The Miami Heat dared the Newark Knicks to knock down not just 3-pointers, but just open jumpers, and they couldn't do it. So I just have a little bit of doubt. There's so many ways that the Miami Heat can defend you, and without Julius Randle being able to bully his way, obviously, and at least for the last half of the season, he was a great 3-point shooter. Without him, I don't see how they find ways to outcoach what Spoelstra's going to do to them.
Oh boy, that would That will be interesting. They got a lot of guys I respect. I respect Kevin Love. I really respect Kyle Lowry. Been around forever. Tough, tenacious, little pit bull Kyle Lowry. But, you can't allow those guys to be. I mean, Duncan Robinson's not going to get many shots off because he's just not a great athlete.
No.
He's got to really be set up, and the Knicks are a good defensive team. I still feel very good about this. I'm not sure about Knicks fans. I think it's a little bit of a mixed bag, so let's start getting to it. 877-337-6666. We will get to broken might be a little strong, but whatever the hell the Yankees are these days, we'll get to them later. We'll recap the draft. Obviously, Devils Rangers tonight, so we got you packed in and we're ready to rock. Josh is in Cedar Grove on Tiki and Tierney. What's happening, Josh?
How you doing, Brandon? How's it going today?
What's up, buddy? How are you? You still confident, I hope, Josh?
I know I'm a little upset. I really am. I was so mad yesterday, but I'm just thinking how we're going to compete with Spoelstra and how he's forcing us to shoot threes. And this is going to sound crazy, but I almost think they should almost play Fournier. They need someone who's going to hit shots. If we don't have Randall, it's going to be tough because you could see Spoelstra's now letting us go in the paint, and he outcoached Tibbs, and I'm afraid Tibbs isn't going to make any adjustments here,
Well, that's been the knock, Josh. I appreciate the call, buddy, on Tom Thibodeau over his career. I think he's shattered that scouting report, but in terms of being a little inflexible or married to these concepts, many of us view as antiquated. Pulling the hot hand. He's done that a little bit, even as the Knicks head coach. But I think he's evolved where. I'm going to give him the wiggle room to cook something up, even if it's not a complete answer. You got to have at least a subset to an answer. I mean, it's pretty basic stuff. When they pack the paint and you're an NBA coach and the opponent forces you to shoot threes, there's a response to be had that's not incredibly difficult to cook up. It's just not. It's not 9 layers deep. It's, all right, well, you're doing this, and now we're going to do that. And I expect them to.
Yeah, I think Grimes has got to play more.
I agree with that.
He's a shooter.
I agree with that.
Quickly's got to play more.
Yep.
I mean, he didn't get a ton of minutes either because he's more their shooter. They got to get their shooters on the court. That's the answer to it. If Eric Spoelstra is going to challenge you to shoot, put the shooters on the court. It's as simple as that.
Mm-hmm. Let's get Chris in Monmouth County. Checks in on the Fan Monday morning. Tiki and Tierney, what's happening, Chris? How are you?
Hey, BT, hi, Tiki. Hope you guys had a nice weekend.
Yeah, so far very wet and not very active.
Oh, my God.
Like everybody else. We're good. What's up, buddy?
Super wet.
Yeah.
So, obviously, I watched the game on Sunday. Disappointing, no doubt about it. The wheels kind of fell off that second half. It was kind of an ominous feeling, right? You saw Riley there. You saw Mourning. You saw Ewing. You saw Starks. It was a little strange a little bit because of the weather.
Chris, hold on, Chris. Before you transit, can I make this a little petty complaint? Are you
complaining about me?
No. I've got a little gripe about ABC here. It's Madison Square Garden.
100%.
I understand why Pat Riley's getting that camera. Love it. Can we get a little more Ewing than Alonzo Mourning? I mean, can we get a little more camera time for our boy Patrick?
I will get. Listen, Pat. I hope you keep me on, Pat. Listen. By the way, I hope Pete's good.
He's good. He's good.
I hate watching those games on ABC. I love Clyde.
Yeah, me too.
And they want the Heat to win. They want it. They're flashing a morning clapping, and it's great. It's a rivalry forever. We love it, right? We live for that. But you could see it. I mean, Pat Riley comes to the building. He never comes there. They show Ewing for a minute. They show Starks for a minute. I mean, come on. How about we have Patrick Ewing here? Like something. It's really just – and they have Mark Jones. And again, they're great people. Don't get me wrong. But it's like, come on. This is the Knicks, man. The Knicks are the NBA. I mean, come on. Willis coming to the court. I mean, all these great teams. Michael Jordan kicking our butt. This is not right. Anyway, to the game. And I agree with you. For whatever reason, and even Jeff Van Gundy on some of these games, he is ripping the Knicks all day long.
But hold on. But that's why Van Gundy's great. You want a homer? I mean, Jeff wants the Knicks to win.
That's what I'm saying. But just you know what it is,
what?
BT? It's just there's something about the Knicks have been so irrelevant for so long that there's just no respect there.
You got to earn it. You got to earn it.
Of course you got to earn it. But there is something about this is New York. This is a team that's been there. And I'm sorry, even the '90s Knicks. They don't get the love they deserve. They never won the championship.
Well, that's why they don't get the love.
Yeah, that's why they don't.
That's the reason.
I get it, man, but that's Tiki. You never won a championship,
you know
and
what
everybody calls you, and they love you. I love you, Tiki.
But they
You're my
get
favorite
it.
player.
But they get it. But they get it in New York. They don't get it nationally. You're right. They don't get it nationally, but they definitely get it in New York. If you were in New York at that, you revere these teams.
Oh, I love those guys. Love them.
I mean, I gotta believe. Just NBA in general. I appreciate your call, dude. NBA in general wants the Knicks to go forward. I can't see them saying, "Oh, we need the Heat to go forward over the Knicks for ratings purposes." That doesn't make any sense to me. The Knicks renaissance, because that's the best way to put this.
Yep.
Is it's paramount for the league, right? In the ratings, and I don't know, just not even that they're a villain anymore, but the villainous nature of New York. I think it's what the league needs.
Well, I think we're taking a little turn here, but it's an interesting enough turn to go down a little further. I disagree. Because it's been proven. Now, listen, the NBA's got a multitude of issues. Honestly, I think of all the four majors, I think the NBA shows the worst and the least amount of leadership, okay? I just think that they're a mess in a lot of ways.
About that. A lot of those things on court, a lot of them off too as well.
Yep, no doubt. But with Steph and with LeBron, before I know LeBron's still playing.
He's gonna be.
But I'm saying up until this point, the NBA's always better with the Knicks, but the NBA's proven they don't need the Knicks.
Yeah, but the NBA has proven they don't need the Knicks when there are superstars, like elite superstar beyond reproach, LeBron James, Steph Curry's, etc., who are dominating the league. Even Kawhi Leonard for half a second. Now he's a shell of himself because he can't stay healthy. But LeBron's 38, right? And somehow they're still in this thing.
I know.
They beat the Grizz and move forward. And they're going to play the Steph and the Lakers. But we always talk about the Knicks, this current iteration of the Knicks, BT, and we say this is sustainable. How many times have we said that? This isn't a flash in the pan. This isn't like 2013.
Nope.
This is a flash. This isn't a flash in the pan Knicks team. There's young players who are only going to get better as the years go on and on and on and on. They need not specifically the New York Knicks, but they need this current Knicks team to be good because the superstar world of winning championships, it's going away. Right? It's not the same anymore. And so I think that if the Knicks become that team that can do it without the LeBron James level superstar, it's awesome for basketball because it makes basketball feel like it used to be, as opposed to, okay, you got Kawhi Leonard in Toronto, you can win a championship. Oh, LeBron goes to Miami, you win a championship. Oh, he goes to Cleveland, oh, they win a championship. Organically, it's different with the Golden State Warriors, but it's the same way. They became superstars. The Knicks can do it without a superstar. Yeah, and I think that's pretty galvanizing for a league that has. It's impossible to watch in the regular season. I don't care how much of a fan you are. The NBA is impossible to watch in the regular season. If the Knicks are good, it changes that narrative, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, I watch less of the league. I mean, I'm still a night.
I don't watch any of the league. Yeah. I just watch the Knicks and the Nets.
I hear you. I'm a Knicks guy every night. I'm not going to sit here and say I watched 82 games, but I probably watched 72, 73 of the Knicks games this year, a good chunk of them. And the only ones I didn't watch was when I had something that was non-negotiable, that I had some sort of firm commitment to. But I'll tell you, I would do anything to parachute Mike Breen in here. Mark Jones, what's his name? Is that his name? Mark Jones? What's that guy's name?
That sounds right.
Now, Doris Burke is phenomenal. I've known Doris. I've loved Doris. She's money.
Yeah.
Mark, stop dropping the 5-syllable words, dude. We get it. You're fairly intelligent. All right. And I'm a fan of vocabulary. You know that. But it's a broadcast I'm just not feeling. And we're probably going to have to sit through 6 or 7 of these games. Let's
Did we
petition.
Get an onomatopoeia? That's like 6, right? Onomatopoeia. That's 6.
I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? Like, if you listen to the games, like, come on, man. Just call the game. We're here to watch basketball. We're not walking through a museum.
Dumb it down.
Yeah.
Lowest common denominator.
A little bit, just a little. It just seems fake.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how else to say it, man. 877-337-6666. Tiki and Tierney on the Fan. I don't know if it's fake, but probably inaccurate. All those Yankee fans who thought this year was going to be different. Why? Why did you think this year was going to be different? Wait till we get to them. I mean, they look like they're on the respirator. It's May 1st. The Yankees look dead. We'll get to that later. Tiki and Tierney on the Fan.